Lamar Jackson, we all knew that if they didn't get a deal and it didn't look like they were going to get a deal, they've been negotiating for about 2 years, that it would come to this, the franchise tag. What may be surprising to some, it would have been surprising to me, but, I had read for the past several days now that the non-exclusive tag was a possibility, Rob. And so they did put the non-exclusive franchise tag on Lamar Jackson. What this means, the exclusive tag, no one else would have been able to negotiate with Lamar. No other team. He would have got $45 million, and he would have either played for the Ravens or refused to sign the tag and basically sat out. Or they could put the non-exclusive tag on him, which is what they did. In that one, he gets $32.5 million, but he can negotiate and talk to any other team in the league. But if the team makes him an offer, the Ravens have the right of first refusal, if you will. They can match any offer that they want, that he gets, and keep him. If they don't match it, they get 2 first-round picks in exchange for Lamar. Also, Rob, these teams can talk trades, though, with the Ravens. So it's not like that's the only trade that's possible. They could, like, say Detroit could trade Jared Goff and 2 firsts, 2 seconds, whatever they wanted, if it comes to that. So those are essentially the options. So, Rob, I'll start with you. Like, what are your thoughts? Are you surprised? Do you think this means it's the end of Lamar in Baltimore? What are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I think it's probably the end because to even expose a guy of that talent for other people to poach says a lot. So they want to stand on their principle that they're not going to give a fully guaranteed contract, which is their right to do so. And again, they safeguard themselves in case nobody gives them anything, like eye-popping or fully guaranteed, or say he has no choice, right, and he has to take a deal. They could still swoop in at the end. What a bad franchise tag. What a black eye for the players union. I'm sorry, Chris. It's just it's totally one-sided. I know.
But
it's just totally
we know they're the
one-sided.
worst union in sports,
at
least among the big 3 sports. Yeah, no doubt
it's
about
just
it.
bad. Yeah. So that's where I mean, that's the part that's surprising. That they couldn't come to a deal, knowing what he wanted, which I don't think is that outrageous, given what people are making. I mean, Daniel Jones just got $40 million a year for throwing 15 touchdowns. I mean, just mind-boggling.
16 games, 17 actually.
17 for like 15 touchdowns, 17.
The playoffs.
He got $40 million, Chris.
Well, Lamar won't settle for that.
No. But I'm just saying,
he's getting like 80 something guaranteed.
Right.
But I'm with. Look, I'm not saying I expect Lamar back with the Ravens, but I also don't think this is automatically the end. Because I think there could be a few things at work here. Rob and Mark, get Isaac Lowenkron ready to come on. With he mentioned in the update that there are some teams already that have said they won't be interested in Lamar. I know one of those is Atlanta, at least according to Diana Rossini of ESPN. She said they won't be making an offer. Rob, I think a few things could be going on here. And I say could because I don't know for a fact. But I think one, Rob, the owner for the Ravens, Steve Bisciotti, has said he doesn't want a fully guaranteed contract for Lamar. And he's against it in principle, right? So one thing, and you heard in the update that one agent tweeted out with these several teams that have said they're not going to go after Lamar, he tweeted out, it sounds like collusion. So one thing that could be happening is that the Ravens could know that a lot of other teams, or maybe no other teams, we don't know, are willing to give him a fully guaranteed deal. And he seems to be locked in, Rob, not just on, give me $200 million guaranteed, give me $250 million guaranteed on a $300 million deal. He seems to want the entire contract fully guaranteed. Now, I agree. Look, I'm sure you're going to say, well, if I'm an owner and I want a good quarterback like Lamar Jackson, I might lie to you. right? I might tell you, yo, yeah, I won't be interested, and then go after him or something, So that they playing a game of roulette there, but that could be number one, Rob, is that they knew, okay, you want to go out there and see. And then he doesn't get a fully guaranteed offer from anybody, and now it strengthens their leverage. Or they could be, Rob, like, quickly, because I know you were ready to talk, they could be like, whatever offer you get, that'll set the market. So if the best offer you get is $200 million over 4 years and 160 guaranteed, that's your market, and we will match it. And so I think those are things that could be going on, or they could just be ready to move on, which I don't think is the case. But I think those first two things are very real possibilities in this, Rob.
Yeah, I just the collusion thing, I don't buy into it.
Well, I'm not saying, I'm not saying collusion. I'm just saying
I don't buy.
Other owners may want to fully guarantee though.
Yeah, but they've already been 2 fully guaranteed quarterback contracts, so it's not like it hadn't been done. It's already been done.
But don't you think this would set a new precedent? Because every other one is people they try to talk like, oh, that's an exception. Deshaun,
two can't be an exception. It's 2, right?
Yeah, but Cousins.
I don't think that because I don't think the owners are that dumb. You would have to communicate in order to get this and get everybody on board. They're renegade owners who aren't going to, if you're Daniel Snyder and you're on your way out and they told you none of us should sign Lamar Jackson, I just can't see that going out. Do you see what I'm saying? Like he has nothing. Why would he protect those other guys who are about to? Right. So I just think that I can't buy that argument. And there are other owners that probably wouldn't take part in that as well. So I'm a little that I think that's far-fetched. So
let's hear which teams from Isaac, which teams have already, or at least reportedly, put out there that they're not interested, Isaac.
Those 5 teams would be the Falcons, the Dolphins, the Panthers, the Commanders, and Raiders. Just so coincidental that separate reports from 5 different teams would come out in just a matter of a few hours.
No, but
and all of those teams need quarterbacks.
But if you're a reporter covering that team, you he becomes available. You as a reporter, Isaac, you go to whoever the general manager, whatever. Are you guys interested? I mean, that's just a natural question.
But what do you think, Rob, about these teams not being interested? Every one of them needs a quarterback.
But they could say that. That doesn't mean that it's always the case, is what I'm saying. Is that, okay, you might say that.
You're saying some of them might be interested.
Might double back and realize, okay, maybe we're not going to get in a bidding war and these other teams are out. And then just the way, what was it, before Deshaun Watson, didn't Atlanta try to get him? And then all of a sudden Cleveland came out of nowhere, right?
It was almost like there were more teams interested. Well, so far, we don't know who's going to actually go for Lamar. And I'm not saying there's collusion. What I'm saying is that Bisciotti, just in talking to various teams, owners talk, and you're talking to teams around the league, and he may know there may be a lot of owners that feel exactly like he does. Because, a lot of owners were upset with Jimmy Haslam in Cleveland for giving the fully guaranteed deal to Deshaun Watson. So he may know, look, other teams are dug in, and they're not going to give him the fully guaranteed
I just think it's harder to do nowadays. I really
again,
do.
I'm not saying it's collusion, but you and I could just agree in principle on something. We're not colluding. I'm not asking you to, he may not have asked him, look, do not sign him, and but that's
collusion. But that's collusion.
I know. I'm saying it's not. I don't think it's that.
Okay.
I'm saying if I'm talking to you and we're both owners, and you like, man, look, we cannot give these players. I just don't want to see a day where they're getting fully guaranteed contracts. Like, we both know that's how we feel. It could be that kind of thing. Is that Rob? Why in the world wouldn't Carolina, Atlanta, Washington, which has a good defense and some good skill position players, why in the world wouldn't they be interested in Lamar Jackson?
I have no idea. Like some franchises,
you see what I'm saying? like,
yeah, but that's only a
and
handful.
I even think Miami would be an awesome place for him. I like Tua, but let's face it, Tua has health problems. At least staying on the field.
So I don't know. I mean, it's interesting. I think all you need is one owner. All you need is one,
that's
Chris.
the truth.
You know
that's
that.
the
It's
risk.
not,
Although
thing.
they're not putting it at risk because they can match if they want.
Right, but that's what I mean. But all it takes is one owner to step up. Woody Johnson for the Jets. Okay, you got this franchise that hasn't won anything. I'm just saying they could come out of nowhere.
I'm glad you brought him up, Rob, because
You know?
we're going to get into Aaron Rodgers and the Jets and all that in the next hour.
Yeah.
If I'm the Jets, plan A has switched from Aaron Rodgers to Lamar Jackson.
No, you said that, and I don't disagree with it because Aaron is really a one-year deal.
Yeah.
And Lamar could be the next 4 years and give yourself a chance with a young team.
Absolutely.
I think that they acting like they're going to the Super Bowl next year. They're not that team. They're not.
And
But
Aaron,
anyway.
look, Aaron, of course, has been a better quarterback historically than Lamar. Lamar may never be as good as Aaron.
It's not about that. It's about
it's the
years.
age, right?
Yeah.
It's the age. It's the timing of it. Aaron Rodgers, there is not leading him to the Super Bowl next year. Lamar will make you a contender for the next half decade or however long you sign him, and maybe longer if you end up signing him to a second deal. So the Jets should be the team. And I'm with you, Woody Johnson. Why wouldn't you guarantee fully guarantee a deal?
It doesn't even make sense. What are you holding on to, Chris?
Right.
You haven't won since that franchise hasn't won since 1969. What are you saving $50 million for? What reason? What would be the reason? You're in New York. You got a big stadium. Fill it up.
Absolutely.
Doesn't make
Rob,
sense.
you know New York. Lamar Jackson would be the cat's meow, to say the least, in New York. They would love him.